Hi friends, in the last session we have seen the importance of the HANA Embedded Analytics and where a HANA Embedded Analytics consultant will stand in a HANA project and what are all the advantages of the HANA Embedded Analytics. Now in the subsequent session of that one, okay, let's explore a high level advantages of the HANA database and we will see how the other databases are struggling and what is the predominantly advantageous points for the HANA. Okay, let's see that one. There are primarily 3 points where HANA dominating the others because of it is a faster compared to the other databases and it consumes less space and it is efficient in its uses of the hardware also. Okay, right. Let's explore these things in very simple terminology so that everyone can understand. Okay. For example, if you have a normal fuel-based vehicles and a electric-based vehicles. Okay, nowadays electric vehicles are much quicker and much more faster than the fuel-based because fuel-based vehicles need the combustion and they need to transmit the power and so many things are there. But when it comes to the electric vehicles, the electric motor directly connected to the wheels and the instant power will be generated. Okay, all this is happening because these electric motors are less transmission of the power. Okay, so that these are much more faster. Okay, there is a less number of transmission of the power. Okay, reduction of the number of internal transfers. Okay, the power transformations between the actual wheels and the motor is less. That's why it is much more faster and instant power is getting better. In the same way, in the HANA architecture also, the internal transfer of the data is less. Okay. For example, what I mean, if you have a CPU, if you want to perform any calculation on any data, then actually the data will be stored in the database. To perform the calculation, CPU first initially fetch that data to internal RAM. Okay. From there, it will process the calculation. But when it comes to the HANA, what will happen? The RAM size is much more bigger. Okay. And most of the frequently used data for the calculation will be directly stored in the RAM. We may think that RAM is much more costly and it has a less space. But HANA consumes very less space to accommodate the large volume of the data. That's why it is possible, so that we can accommodate more data in less space. Okay. Even though we have a hard disk outside the architecture that will store the less important data, actual regular important data directly stores in the actual RAM of our actual processor. That is the advantage of the HANA architecture because of the data directly available in the memory. This is called in another way in technical terminology of the database in memory. So that's why people are calling in memory database. That's why in memory database are much more faster because there is no need to external data fetching. There is no need of again additional transfer of the data from the hard disk to your RAM. Okay, right. That is why HANA is faster. Why HANA is faster? It is a in memory. How it is possible in memory? Because we could able to accommodate the large volume of the data in the less space. This is the second advantage. So, for example, let's explore the how does HANA accommodate the large volume of data in less space. For example, you have a two identical areas where you want to. For example, you have a two identical space areas and you want to construct the home, and one method of constructing the homes in the area is like this. In another way, you can construct in the same area, you can construct the apartments. So in which method where you can accommodate the more people, either these kind of individual house row wise or the column wise, some kind of what do you mean by apartment? Okay, apartment is nothing but home on another home, like vertically the homes will be placed. Like that, in the less space you can accommodate more number of home houses, and then in each house more people we can store. In the same way, this is called the row kind of architecture, this is called the column kind of architecture in the construction of the houses. In which way we can accommodate more number of people? Obviously this kind of uh, apartment kind of structure only we can accommodate the more number of. You can see the houses in a vertical way. That is what the column storage. Okay, HANA has a additional feature called column storage where the data is organized in a column way. That's why the large volume of data will be stored in the less space, and there is a higher compression ratio, and there is no need of aggregates. Aggregates means aggregated data you will store in regularly in any data warehousing technology using the aggregates, but it is not required here. And high compression ratio we can achieve. High compression ratio means what? We can store the large volume of data in the less space. Okay. So we have explored 2 points. HANA is much more faster because it's in memory, and another one it would able to accommodate the more data in the less space because it is a column storage. Okay, let's see how HANA is efficient. Okay, for example, you have a data in the disks, and you have a certain CPU processor. Nowadays, all the processors coming with the cores. Cores are means individually they can act. Multi-core processors. Okay, imagine these are all the multi-core. Your processor is fast, but your disk is slow. That is the problem. That's why, as described earlier, we have placed the data in the memory so that the memory inside the processor is fast. That is called in memory, right? So that it could able to utilize the features of the multi-core features of the processor because the data directly available here. Okay, that's why HANA is efficient to utilize the actual hardware innovations. That is called multi-core technology. Also, it could able to easily adopt. Okay, so because of the compression, we could able to store the large volume of data in the in-memory, and it's because of the data is available in the in-memory, the multi-core processing and parallel processing is possible in the HANA architecture. Okay, right. Now we have seen the high-level advantages of the HANA database. Okay, so to become an expert in this HANA database, any database you need to learn two things: SQL and SQL scripting. Okay, just I want to throw some light on what is SQL and SQL scripting. Normally, in every SQL, select statement will be the called as a normal SQL top. Okay, any statement executed with the simple select statement is called the SQL kind of top. Okay. Normally, in your application programming, you will run the loops to process the data, but in sequential language, select statement itself is a looping statement. Okay, you can do many things with the select statement. Anyhow, we will see each and everything in our course. This is called SQL. Then what does it mean by SQL scripting? SQL scripting means multiple select statements together, and additional programming features. Some more additional programming kind of features if you included, then that is called the SQL scripting. Okay, let's see in this course what we are covering. HANA modeling perspective side, where we are going to cover the all the catalog objects, which covers the HANA database level topics. That's called SQL and SQL script. And the next one is the content. This is nothing but graphical modeling features of the HANA. Okay. And the data provisioning methodologies and how we can able to provide the data to the database. Okay. So that is called some data provisioning methods. And security features also we will see users and their assignment of the privileges and roles. Okay. Let's log into the HANA system and I will show you what are all these things. So this is the HANA. If you log in here in HANA Eclipse, this is the HANA Eclipse or HANA Studio, where this is the tool to connect to the database, HANA database. Once you log into here, in HANA, different people perform their different activities. Now, as restricted to this course, this is the HANA modeler perspective. Okay. On top right corner in HANA Eclipse, you have the option to select the perspective. Means in which perspective you are going to work. HANA modeler. You are a HANA modeler. In HANA modeler, on the left side, it will show the instances for the database. These are nothing but connection objects. Okay. Right. Now, these are all the four things which I spoke about in our training course. Okay, as a HANA database. Catalog objects, content objects, and provisioning and security. In the catalog, these are all catalog are nothing but database objects. Content is nothing but modeling objects. Provisioning is nothing but how you are providing the data into the database. That is called smart data access and BODS. Different ways we can able to provide the data into the database. Okay, that is called HANA security, where you will see the users and their roles. Let's explore the catalog. Okay, in every database, irrespective whether it is a HANA or non-HANA database, all the database objects are going to be organized by schemas. This is the schema. Inside these are all the database objects. Okay. So as part of this course, we are going to cover tables concept, synonyms, okay, column views, functions, indexes, procedures, sequences, triggers, views. All these are all called database objects. Okay, right. Now, as part of the modeling content, okay, where the modeling objects are organized by the packages. Okay, on any package, if you right click, these are all the modeling objects. Attribute views, these are all called what? Attribute views, analytical views, calculation views, analytical privileges, procedures, decision table. These are all the different modeling objects which we are going to cover in the same course. Okay. Provisioning, smart data access we will cover, and we will also cover the how to utilize the BODS, okay, to provide the data into the HANA database. And we will see the users and their roles concept also. Okay, fine. So these are all called HANA as a database. These are all called HANA as a database concepts. Okay. Thank you. So with this, we are going to cover all the HANA modeling concepts, which will completely cover HANA database concepts and native HANA modeling, data provisioning, and security features. Thank you. See you again in the next session.